Hey guys, been a little while again, and these delays that we're having between episodes basically is us busy in the shop with other stuff and busy trying to figure out how to solve a bunch of problems that have been created in the rebuild that we're doing. And we're not creating the problems. The way these things are put together created the problem in the first place. What we're trying to do is solve the problems so that once this rebuild is done, the problem doesn't come back. So there's a lot of testing and figuring out, and frankly, way more brain power than I probably ought to put into stuff. But that's what's going on behind the scenes, just so that keep subscribing, keep watching, keep waiting for the next video, because once we get past a lot of this prototyping and stuff that we're doing right now, there's going to be a lot more content. We've got another rebuild that's completely different design, completely different process that we're going to do. We're going to use most of the same materials on the next build, but it is not. So it's not really a camper, but I'm going to do another video on that here in the next couple of days. So that's the background. That's the lead up to these ceiling panels. We're at the point now, all the walls inside the camper have been painted. The floor's done. The walls are up. The cabinets are finished. The cabinets are installed. Everything's been primed. The bedroom has been primed and painted. The bedroom walls are done. The closet's done. The ceiling panels in the bedroom are completely finished. In the bedroom, the only thing left to do is to do trim work. I'm going to have Noah take some pictures. I've already shown this trim work, but we're using, we've got a lumber yard here that woodworkers go to, and we're using a rough sawn cedar that we're cutting down on the table saw and then shaping the way we need it to get our trim. The cool thing about cedar is bugs don't like it. It's got a nice smell to it. Super lightweight. It's real easy to work with, and it's not crazy expensive if you cut it down yourself. Don't try to go to Home Depot or Menards or someplace like that and find cedar trim. If you do find it and it's already trim work, it's going to cost a fortune. So we're making our own. And it's pretty quick to do and something I enjoy. I can actually do it and get out of my head and just get into my element. So anyway, if you've got a busted ceiling, you had some water leaks, you got the water leaks fixed, and you want your ceiling to look new, the problem that you've got is the way these things are built, the ceiling is actually on the frame of the roof, and the whole thing is set down so that the sheeting of the ceiling is smashed between the walls and the ceiling. In order to get it out, you'd have to remove the ceiling off of the structure, take it all down, put it all back, and then set the ceiling back down. We could have done that. We've got the tools to do it. I didn't want to put the time and the effort into it. So this is what I've come up with. This is on the high end of DIY. It's all about steps. If you take the right steps, you're going to get a really good bond. If you don't take the right steps, the stuff's going to fall down and you're going to hate life. But these are small. This is just scrap stuff, but it's 1/2-inch rigid foam. I'm using the 1/2-inch rigid foam. It's super lightweight, pretty cost effective, easy to work with. We can cut it on the table saw and it gives a barrier. So if I've got nail holes here, water spots here, if I've got an air conditioning hole that I'm going to relocate, basically this bridges the gap. If I've got a 4-inch hole and I put this up on the whole ceiling, that 4-inch hole's gone. We glue, the 3mm sheeting, get it from Home Depot. It's pretty economical too. It's lightweight. It's easy to work with. So we glue this sheeting to here. The way you glue it is this 3M Fast Bond 30NF. That's where some of the stuff comes in. The Fast Bond 30NF, this is a 5-gallon bucket. We get it from our distributor. It's labeled for industrial commercial use. Obviously, a DIY guy is not industrial commercial. You can buy it on Amazon. It's exceptionally expensive. It's still expensive for us. That 5-gallon bucket is almost $600. So if you're going to do this, be aware the cost of the material starts to get expensive when you start getting into some of the materials that we use. But anyway, the Fast Bond is a contact cement. So you're going to put it on this surface. You're going to put it on this surface. You're going to stick it together. That's a process because once it's stuck, it's stuck. So it's not something that you can set down and move around and try to get it in the right spot. You've got to get this piece where you want it, and when it goes down, it's on. And then we take a laminate roller and roll it out. And basically what you're doing is pressing the glues together so that the glue surfaces bond together, and boom, now you've got a stuck surface like this is. And it's strong. You can get it apart, but you're going to damage everything. It's going to come apart. So it's structural adhesive. That's what it's rated for, which is why it's labeled industrial use, because they're using it in structural applications. I don't know that we can get enough pressure on this to call it structural, but it definitely does what we need to do. So that's how you build these things. It's 3mm sheeting from Home Depot, 1/2-inch sheeting, rigid foam. We get it from Home Depot. 3M Fast Bond 30 NF contact cement. We're actually using an HVLP spray gun. We spray it on, gives us a nice even coat. You can roll this on. We've done a lot of roll-on applications. So you roll it on, you get a nice even layer on both panels. You let both panels dry. Once they're dry, you stick them together, you roll them down, boom, you've got it. And then on the inside, once we got everything painted the way we wanted it, all of our HVLP work is done. We mask the walls, drop plastic down. We use the HVLP gun to spray the ceiling. And then there's this stuff comes in. It's actually got plastic sheet. There's a plastic protectant layer. We peel that layer off. We spray the Fast Bond onto this side. Both sides are now covered in glue. We let them dry. And then this panel goes up and we stick it to the ceiling. And then we'll make sure our roller is nice and clean. And we'll use the roller on the ceiling to roll this down, get a nice even pressure, and boom, you go from a completely busted ceiling that's nearly impossible to work with to, if you're making panels like this, you can use trim to hold any of the edges up. The metal will take care of itself because it's all glued. That's what we're doing. We spent a lot of time figuring out all the adhesives and testing to make sure that they'll work. And that's, like I said, that's a lot of the behind the scenes time gaps between each video is just us trying to figure it out and trying to figure out how to make all this stuff work together. That's the video. I promised that I'd get that on Facebook last night. So we're going to get this edited. I'm going to get it shoved in there. We'll get some pictures of some of the trim work we're doing. And then Joe's in the trailer prepping to do the final coats of paint on the bathroom and the living room. So we're getting really close to having this thing ready to roll out the door. That's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Later.